Good morning, all of you. You can take the lesson Tiger King, page number 11. And page number 11, you can also see that what if the 100th tiger were also killed? Right? When after completing that, when he has done that, he sent for the state astrologer, they showed him the dead beast. And the king was very happy because when he hunted, and of course, when he did that, and he also showed the dead beast, and he asked, what do you say now? He demanded. Then the astrologer also replied, Your Majesty, you may kill 99 tigers in exactly the same manner, but the astrologer drawled. Drawled in the sense, hesitated. He became hesitant. But what? Speak without fear. And he was also roaring there as a king. But you must be very careful with the 100th tiger. So 100th tiger was the task. You understand that? Target of both, even for the Maharaja and of course for the tiger. So what if the 100th tiger were also killed? He was also giving an imaginary condition, and of course then I will tear up, because he was very strong. The astrologer also very strong in his astrology, so that he was also arguing with that. But anyhow, he was threatened by Maharaja's highness. But anyhow, he wanted to explain that. He wanted to very stand very something. It is like we are talking about our strength of our education, or whatever the skills, and of course whatever the strength we have to, means that's why then I will tear up all my books on astrology, set fire to them, and I shall cut off my tuft, and of course crop my hair short and become an insurance agent. That means he was, if it is happening like means, then I will switch over my profession. Then I will change, because I am somewhat I am not a standard, I am not eligible for that particular profession, astrology. So that's why he mentioned that, and I become an insurance agent. The astrologer finished on an incoherent note. Incoherent in the sense, that means he became hesitant. That's why he was not very properly conveying the message. Somewhere he was also showing his fear. And scene 3, from that day onwards, then he also went to his palace, and of course he started something, he started to contemplate. What is the meaning contemplating, in the sense always thinking about it. The Maharaja also did that, and he took his own time to deliver something, and of course start something. Then after that, from that day onwards, it was celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pradipandabhuram. So in the Pradipandabhuram, and there was something he just created that the state banned tigers hunting. So tiger hunting by anyone except Maharaja, because Maharaja, the very first tiger he just killed, right? He did that. He killed, and of course the 99 tigers are remaining. So he wanted to do, that's why he just banned. So the state banned, Pradipandabhuram state banned tiger hunting by anyone except the Maharaja. So Maharaja wanted to complete this task, right? Accomplishment. So here a proclamation. The proclamation means an announcement was. It is like Tandora. Nowadays we are saying that it's like announcement from the palace, and of course here a proclamation was issued to the effect that if anyone dared to fling in the sense throw or toss so much as a stone at a tiger. You understand that? That means not even using gun or using sword or killing or fighting and murdering. Not like that. Even a small stone also, when you are throwing, that's all. So that's why anyone dare to, what is the meaning dare? How dare you to? That means the courage you have. So anyone dare to fling, throw or toss so much as a stone at a tiger, that's all his wealth and property would be confiscated. So confiscated in the sense, we think that maybe totally seized by the government, by the Maharaja. Right? You understand that? So that's why that was the restriction. Announcement was proclaimed. Then the Maharaja vowed he would attend to all of the matters only after killing the 100 tigers. So he was something, he was irritated by that particular gossip or rumor, or we can also say that the word from astrology. That means the 100th tiger. So 100th tiger. So he was very quick. So the Maharaja vowed, in the sense, taken an oath, right? Or you can also took pledge. He would attend all other matters. Underline the word. It means, whatever it is in the kingdom regarding, people problems or whatever it is, even the meeting, everything he just, rejected. That's why he just took a pledge. He would attend all other matters after only, that means only after killing 100 tigers. So 100 tigers versus something that aim and intention. What is the meaning intention? The first intention of the Maharaja, he has to do he has to complete, then only he will also go and join with other activities, whatever was taking place in the country. So initially, the king seemed well set to realize his ambition. You understand that when we have the courage, when we have uh, everywhere it is possible. When we are taking some pledge, when we are taking some ambition, when we are something, some decisions also, right? It is known as maybe resolution also. In the year beginning, we will also take. The beginning, we will also. தமிழ்ல அழகா சொல்லுவாங்க பணிக்கு புதியவன் சிறக்க செய்வான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. The first impression we will also do that. First, when we are joining in job, when we are joining in school or anything, it is happening. It is something, it is ultimately truth. So initially the king seemed well set. What is the meaning well set? He was very happy because he realized his ambition was, it's like it's going to get its, completion, because he started to kill. So not that he faced no dangers. That's very important. You can also underline the sentence. Not that he faced no dangers in the sense how much of a tiger, how many tigers he just killed. Not that he faced no dangers in the sense he didn't face much, difficulties, because he was guts enough, and of course he had the power and courage, and that get that's why he had done that. Then there were times when the bullet missed its mark, right? It was also taking, right, when hunting is taking place, anything will happen. Even the beast will also overcome, or the human being, the personality, the king, or we can also take the personality who is taking the hunting also can be, right? That's why here there were times when the bullet missed its mark. So what will happen when the bullet, missed its mark? The tiger leapt. What is the meaning leapt? Leapt in the sense we are taking leapt here. We are taking the tiger leapt upon him. The mist jumped upon him. Underline the word left and right. Left means jumped upon him, and he fought the beast with his bare hands. Just imagine that. So not that he faced no dangers. There were times when the bullet also missed its marks. That means, in his beginning, too many achievements. So certain, something. For an example, out of 100, maybe 20 tigers he completed, 21. At 30 tigers he completed 31, 32, 34. So some marks also. There was times also when the bullet missed its mark. The tiger leapt upon him and he fought. You understand that he was not, threatened by that, and he ran away from the battlefield. Something he fought the beast with his bare hands. You can also have close bracket. What is the meaning bare hands? Bare hands without weapons, right? Bare hands means without weapons. Each time it was the Maharaja who won, because he is a hero. You understand that? Always in a movie, always in a story, maximum we can take 80%, the hero will win, or we can take that the protagonist will win. So here each time it was the Maharaja who won the tigers, right? This is what happened. So page number, I think you are all understanding the concept. Can we go to the next page? Take page number 12. Right, at another time. So at another time he was in danger of losing his throne. Sir, am I audible, sir? Are you all listening? Listening to me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at another time he was in danger of losing his throne. You can also underline that. What was the reason behind that? Losing his throne. What is the meaning throne? We are saying in Tamil, Arasavai. That means, freedom, that crown, they are taking that particular position, because we were under the control of British once. So at another time, he was in danger of losing his throne. A high-ranking British officer visited Pradipandabro. You understand? You can underline that. High-ranking British officer visited Pradipandabro. That reason I am just telling you. The narrator is giving this. At another time, the first incident, that means, not that he faced no dangers. There were times when the bullet missed its mark. The tiger leapt upon him, and he fought the beast with his bare hands. Each time it was the Maharaja was won. Right? Who won? At another time, he was in danger of losing his throne, in the sense, the particular post, as Maharaja, the particular state, Pradibandhapuram's ruling capacity, ruling authority. For what? The reason behind that, a high-ranking British officer once visited Pradibandhapuram, and he was very fond of hunting tigers. That means once they had, even the gun, a self-gun, everything they used. That's why that is like, you can take, that's like their entertainment, or for hobby. So he was very fond of, you can underline the word high ranking British officer. He was very fond of hunting tigers. So and fonder of we are taking, fonder of being photographed. That is very important. Photographs with the tigers he had for. Some hobby are longing for that. They have the desire like nowadays we are all using selfie for all the things. Whatever we done, even we are eating or we are suffering or we are also serving something, providing something for all the things taking selfie, we are taking photos as remembrance because nowadays everybody has a camera in their mobile phone. That's why they are taking. So I'm fond of being photographed with the tigers. He had shot. You understand that? With that, even we can imagine the pose also. So we pose also with the tiger there, of course, in front of him, like and taking that. Even the too many things they are all doing that. So he was very fond of hunting tigers and fond of being photographed with the tigers. He had shot, right? So as usual, he visited to hunt tigers in Pradipandapura. So when he visited, that purpose only. As usual, he wished to hunt tigers in Pradipandapura. But the Maharaja was firm in his resolve. You underline that. What is the meaning? Resolve means that means his determination. That means his idea. Or we say in Tamil, Mudivan solluvoம்ல, resolve, right? Determination. But the Maharaja, when he went and of course approached. So as usual, he wished to hunt tigers in Pradipandapura so that he approached the kingdom. You understand? But Maharaja was fine. Underline the word fine in the sense, very particular. You're right, very particular. Maharaja was very particular in his resolve. Means in a decision, that determination. He will not allow anybody to hunt tigers except Maharaja because he had a task 100 tigers. He had completed only limited sense, so he wanted to. That's why he banned that, right? Pradipandhapuram state banned tiger hunting except Maharaja by anyone, right? Except Maharaja. So, but the Maharaja was prime minister, so he refused permission. You understand? That was the reason. He was a high-ranking British officer. You understand? That's why he also had given him some problem. So here he refused permission. Then he asked, I can organize any other hand. He requested, like I think in the Shivaji movie, when Shivaji approached to, build or construct a Shivaji Foundation, medical college and all the, universities like. And that means, antagonist, Rajini was the protagonist and antagonist was woman, right? He was giving offering instead of university and colleges, he was offering hotels and some malls likewise. You can also remember that. So I can organize any other hand. You go on a boar hunt. What is the meaning boar? You can underline the word. That means you can also see maybe pig, pig, wild pig. You can also write. What is the meaning boar? Boar means wild pig, pigs. You may go on a boar hunt. You may conduct a mouse hunt. What is this? He came for tiger hunting, and the Maharaja was offering boar hunt. You may conduct a mouse hunt, and we are ready for a mosquito hunt. Something was funny, something, he was something. He had that authority and he was fonder. He was a fonder. He was fond of, hunting tigers. And he was offering, but the Maharaja was offering boar hunting, mouse hunting, and of course, mosquito hunt. But tiger hunt, that is impossible. Very clearly he stated that. But the tiger hunt, that's impossible. So the British officer was, irritated. So he started to do some, it's like revenge. What does it mean? Taking revenge. The British officer secretary sent word to the Maharaja through Diwan. What is the meaning? Diwan, another character next to the Maharaja. Diwan, that the Durai himself did not have to kill the tiger. So again he came forward. He just came and visited and of course approached and requested the Maharaja to do tiger hunting, but he was not. He was restricted. He was not allowed to do that. So instead he was offered boar hunt and of course mouse hunt and mosquito hunt. But the British officer's secretary, you understand that British officer understood and received all those things from the Maharaja. Then, through a secretary, sent word to the Maharaja through the Diwan. That means, British officer secretary like Maharaja's assistant Diwan. You underline the word Diwan. That the Durai means the British officer. Durai himself did not have to kill the tiger. He was very clearly stating that the Maharaja could do the actual killing. But what was important to the Durai was a photograph of himself holding the gun and standing over the tiger's carcass. Underline the word carcass in the sense dead beast, the dead body of dead beast, right? That means corpse. We are taking that. So he came down. A British officer came down very, something very. He also considered because he wanted only one thing. That means photographs, photographs with the tigers, dead beast. But that was also rejected by the Maharaja. You understand? See, the British officer secretary sent word to the Maharaja through the Diwan, and Diwan that the Durai himself did not have to kill. That means, I don't want. That means, he doesn't want, or he didn't want to kill or hunt the tiger. Maharaja can do that. Maharaja can go forward. Maharaja can proceed with that. But after killing, let me take photographs with the tiger's dead beast carcass. You underline the word carcass means the dead body or dead beast. What was important to the Durai? Durai, the British officer, was a photograph of himself holding the gun. That means, when in front of a dead body, or we are taking, carcass or a corpse, we are taking that. When we are having the gun and showing some images means that will be also like that. You understand that? And he killed like that, everybody will come to know that. They will also take that image. So what was important to the Durai was a photograph of himself holding the gun and standing over the tiger's carcass, right? But the Maharaja would not agree even to this proposal also. He was adamant. You know what is the meaning? Adamant? He was confident, constant enough. So he was adamant, so that Maharaja rejected that proposal also. If he relented now, underline the word. What is the meaning relented? Relented means, coming down. That means, becoming less. That means lessen. That means, coming down and adjusting that, becoming or become mild or adjusting or accepting. If he relented now, accepted now, what would he do if other British officer turned up for tiger hunts? Because they will take that the tigers, the tiger was hunt, the tiger was killed by that particular Durai, that means British officer. So all the British officers also, those who are having that interest also will come and approach and propose us, then we will also be in danger. And this is what he thought, that because he wanted to complete 100 tigers. So if he relented now, what would happen? What would he do if other British officers turned up for tiger hunts? That's why he rejected. But the Maharaja would not agree even to this proposal also for this reason. So because he prevented a British officer from fulfilling his desire, because we were under the control of that. That's why the Maharaja stood in danger of losing his kingdom itself. This is what happened. You can also understand that. So, but that's why, and the British officer Durai took revenge, and he also created too many problems. By that, because he prevented a British officer from fulfilling his desire. Whatever they wanted, they would also take place. They would also take a complaint. That's why the Maharaja stood in danger of losing his kingdom itself. So many complaints, created images, pictures, and all those things, and took a revenge on him. That's why you can also see the first paragraph also. You can also see that another time, right? At another time, he was in danger of losing his throne. What was the reason? Whatever I narrated. You understand this is what is the reason, right? So, okay, the Maharaja and the Diwan held deliberations over this issue. So, after when he was in danger, and of course, when he stood in danger of losing his kingdom itself, he started to have discussion with the Diwan, the Maharaja and the Diwan, because he is next to the Maharaja, held deliberations. Underline the word. What is the meaning deliberations means? We can consider discussions. I think you are understanding and writing. You underline and write. So the Maharaja and the Diwan held discussions over this issue. As a result, a telegram, underline the word, a message, telegram was dispatched, sent forthwith to a famous British company of jewelers in Calcutta. So they had taken a decision. By that, the decision started to execute, and of course, as a result, a telegram was dispatched, sent from the Maharaja. You understand that? As dispatched forthwith to a famous British company of jewelers in Calcutta, sent samples of expensive diamond rings of different designs, especially for women, right? This is what they sent. This is what they sent. Wait a minute. right, sir? Now you can see that. So they had taken a decision, and as a result, a telegram was dispatched to a famous British company of jewelers in Calcutta, sent samples of expensive diamonds rings of different designs. Okay, whatever they asked, they also sent. So 50 rings arrived because he was the king of the particular state, Pradibandhapuram. So the company, the jewelers in company of jewelers in Calcutta also, they sent a samples of 50 rings. So that some 50 rings arrived. The Maharaja sent the whole lot of here, whole lot to the entire 50 rings, all the 50 rings to the British officer's good lady. You underline the word. What is the meaning? British officer's good lady means wife of that particular British officer, because he only created too many problems to the kingdom, and that's why he stood in danger of losing his kingdom itself. Understand, sir? So by it is like bribe. You understand what is the meaning bribe? We know what is the meaning. Something, it's like giving, providing லஞ்சம் கொடுத்து அதை வந்து மேனேஜ் பண்றது. It is like, I think in the Shivaji movie also we saw that, right? So yeah, the Maharaja sent the whole lot to the British officer's good lady. Good lady means wife of the British officer. The king and the minister expected, underline the word minister, Divan, expected that Duraisani, underline the word Duraisani, means wife of that particular British officer. British officer named Durai and his wife Duraisani to choose one or two rings and send the rest back. You understand that? As a gift, you understand, it's a bribe, they also send. But she was much more than, some clever. That's why you can also say they thought that the king and the minister expected the Duraisani to choose one or two rings and send the rest back. Underline the remaining, rest back in the sense remaining. One or two means out of 50, so 48, around 47 to 48 rings will be returned. But with no time at all, the Duraisani sent her reply, "Thank you very much for your gift." That means, she accepted 50 rings. This is something, that maybe it is like we are taking greedy. She was also greedy, So she accepted. That means whatever we receive, we will also receive with happiness. But whatever we give, we are not giving with happiness. So whatever it is, even that's why we are simply saying, பினாயில் கொடுத்தா கூட நம்ம கிடையாது வாங்கிடுவோம் அப்படி. So whatever we have, whatever we are receiving, we will receive with happiness from others. But giving is an attitude, we are not ready to do that. So once again, from that, the Maharaja, because he prevented a British officer from fulfilling his desire, the Maharaja stood in danger of losing his kingdom itself. The Maharaja and the Diwan held discussions over this issue. As a result, a telegram was dispatched to a famous British company of jewelers in Calcutta. 10 samples of expensive diamond rings of different designs. Some 50 rings arrived. The Maharaja sent the whole lot to the British officer's good lady. The king and the minister expected the Duraisani to choose one or two rings and send the rest back. With no time at all, the Duraisani sent a reply, "Thank you very much for your gifts." In 2 days, a bill for 3 lakhs of rupees came from the British jewelers. Yes, of course, Maharaja paid that. But the Maharaja was happy that though he had lost 3 lakhs of rupees, he had managed to retain his kingdom. Something, by giving something, he was receiving. You understand? He received. It means, okay, is he convinced? You understand what happened behind the screen? The Duraisani, or the good lady of the particular British officer, she convinced him, and of course, we know very well wife was everything taken care, and whatever she, and that's why we are considering, the uh, head of the family is wife we are taking, or mother we are taking. Whatever they say, that will be executed more than, male nowadays. That is a hidden secret. Even in non-gender status, we study that male dominated society. Now we can say that even female dominated society, like female domination. So she also convinced. By that, the Maharaja was happy that though he had lost 3 lakhs of rupees, he had managed to retain his kingdom. Okay, that's all. They left. He also then went and started to resume his tiger hunting. The Maharaja's tiger hunt continued to be highly successful. You understand that? So he also managed by giving 3 lakhs rupees related, 50 rings, diamond rings to the Duraisani. Then by that he also saved his kingdom. Then he left the matter. Then he started to continued his tiger hunting. The Maharaja's tiger hunts continued to be highly successful. Within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers. You can also calculate. Within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers, and then An unforeseen hurdle brought his mission to a standstill. What is the meaning? An unforeseen. Unforeseen, underline the word and write. Maybe unexpected. Unexpected are met before. An unexpected hurdle, what is the meaning? Hurdle. Hurdle means problems, struggle. Hurdle means problem and struggle. So after completing 70 tigers, so after killing 70 tigers, and then an unforeseen, an unexpected hurdle brought his mission to a standstill. Underline the word. What is the meaning? Standstill means maybe a halt. You know what is the meaning? Halt. Halt means stop, pass. Understand? If there is tiger, we can go and kill. No tigers means what we can do that. There are no tigers. There were no tigers. That's why. And then an unforeseen hurdle brought us mission to a standstill. Standstill means a pause or a halt or a stop. The tiger population became extinct. Underline the word. What is the meaning? Extinct means completely extinct. Underline the word and write completely destroyed or disappeared. You write destroyed or disappeared. The tiger population became, because he has completed 70 tigers. He has killed 70 tigers. He wanted to complete his mission as 30 tigers he just wanted to kill. The tiger population became extinct, that means completely destroyed or disappeared in the forest of Pradibandhapuram. That's why he was unable to complete his mission. Right? Who knows whether, and here the narrator is giving some ideas, some humorous, hilarious ideas. Who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control? Something in it is, even the human beings are not unaware of that. So who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control? You underline the sentence, or committed harahari. Underline the harahari means maybe it is like a ritual suicide by a sword. That means suicide committee, commission, SUICIDE, suicide. So committed harahari means, harahari, underline the word and write ritual, RITUAL, ritual suicide by sword. You understand that? That means tigers are killing themselves like itself, like we are taking. So the narrator is adding another, because in Pradibandhapuram forest, the tiger population became extinct. That's why the narrator is sharing with the readers. Who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control? You know what is the meaning birth control? Or committed suicide, or simply ran away from the state because they decided to be shot by British hands only. You understand that? Not by the Maharaja. So three reasons here he was discussing with the readers. Maybe, so who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control or committed suicide or simply ran away from the Pradibandhapuram forest and of course the particular state because they desired to be shot by the British hands alone, not by the king. You understand that? This is what the state, this is what the condition. That's why there was a halt. There was a halt, pass, respite in his mission. So one day, and of course he also waited for his patients. Then he was unable to balance. He was unable to bear the pain. He wanted to complete 30 tigers because it was injuring him a lot. So one day Maharaja sent for the Diwan. He also called Diwan. He called Diwan Sahib, and he also started to say that, aren't you aware of the fact that 30 tigers still remain to be shot down by this gun of mine? He asked, brandishing his gun. You know what is the meaning? Brandishing means, underline the word. Brandishing means waving. You know what is the meaning? Waving or moving or flowing. You write wave or swing. SWING, swing. Brandishing means moving in the air, like it is like flowing or waving or swing. Anything you can write. We will also use our gun. Yeah, we will also use our gun. Something it is like showing towards something. Likewise, he was also threatening. So one day the Maharaja called the Diwan and asked, Diwan Sahib, his name was Sahib. Diwan Sahib, aren't you aware of the fact that 30 tigers still remain to be shot down by this gun of mine? And he was also showing his gun. He asked, brandishing his gun in the sense, just showing towards him. So shuddering at the sight of the gun. Underline the word shuddering means Diwan was totally threatened by that. He became panic. So shuddering, underline the word and write trembling in fear, trembling, நடுங்குறன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, trembling, TREMBLANG, trembling at by fear or trembling in fear. Shuddering at the sight of the gun while looking at the gun, the Diwan cried out, Your Majesty, I am not a gun, I am not a tiger. Please, please take your gun, like when he was showing towards him. So shuddering at the sight of the gun, the divan cried out, "Your Majesty, I am not a tiger. Please leave me." Which idiot would call you a tiger? You are divan, and you are. It is like, I think, Manguni Amachar. We are also saying in the 23rd Puligasi you came across, you saw that. So which idiot would call you a tiger? No, I am not a gun. Again, he was, he was threatened by the gun. So that means, he knew very well the king was very angry, so that he would do anything, because totally his mission was, failed. That means, passed by 30 tigers. So which idiot would call you a tiger? Immediately the divan also replied, no, 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 and I am not a gun. You are neither tiger nor gun. I know, Divan Sahib. Summoned, I called you here for a different purpose. He was also telling that what was the purpose, right? From that, you can also see only the Maharaja sent for Divan, and Divan Sahib, are you aware of that fact? That 30 tigers still remain to be shot down by this gun of mine. He asked, brandishing his gun, shuddering at the sight of the gun. The Divan cried out, "Your Majesty, I am not a tiger." Which idiot would call you a tiger? No, I am not a gun. You are neither tiger nor gun. Divan Sahib, I summoned you here for a different purpose. What was the purpose? Have decided to get married. Then already he got married, right? And wife is also there. And he also delivered something, shared with the Divan, underlying that I have decided to get. Immediately the Divan started to babble. The Divan began to babble even more. Your Majesty, I have two wives already. If I marry you, so this is somewhat, some humorous ideas in the lesson. We can also take that. So when the Maharaja was sharing that he has decided to get married, the Divan babble began to babble. That means, Volar, even more, Your Majesty, have two wives already. You know what is the meaning? Two wives already. If I marry you, oh my God, I don't talk nonsense. Why should I marry you? What I want is a tiger. So very clearly he also explained that, hey fellow, don't talk nonsense. I would not like to marry you. This is something, nonsense, illogical like. So don't talk nonsense. Why should I marry you? What I want is tiger. So he wanted, of course, tigers, right? Tigers means 30 tigers, remaining 30 tigers he wanted. A tiger means they can take anything. That means tiger king like tiger queen. Another woman also, she was expecting lady. So what I want is a tiger. Then he also continued, Your Majesty, please think it over. Your ancestors, that means, your father and of course your fathers, and then of course ancestors, forefathers, your ancestors were married to the sword. There was a system like, something it is like. So they married to the sword. If you like marry the gun, okay, no problem, nothing will happen. But a tiger king is more than enough for the state. It doesn't need a queen tiger queen as well as. He thought that in a different way. That means, he wanted to marry a tiger. Likewise, the divan thought that. So he was. That means he was threatened by that. He was also delivering like that. So that's why when he shared that, why should I marry you? What I want is a tiger. So your Majesty, please think it over. Your ancestors were married to the sword. If you like, marry the gun. No issues, because nothing will happen. Sword and gun. It is something inanimate. So a tiger king is more than enough. You are a tiger king. You are more than enough for this particular state. That means it doesn't need a tiger queen as well. That means tiger is a queen, because when he gets married with a tiger. Likewise, illogical things. This is only for humorous mixture. You understand that? So the narrator Kalki wanted to add some humorous ideas in the lesson. That's why, right? The Maharaja gave a loud crack of loud. Oh my God! I am not thinking of marrying either a tiger or a gun, but a girl from a ranks of human beings. So first you may draw statistics of tiger populations in the different native states. You understand that when he gets another marriage, and in second or third or fourth, whatever it is, in that particular state there will be tiger population. So he wanted to complete this mission. That's why he was mentioning that the Maharaja gave a loud crack of laughter. I am not thinking of marrying either a tiger or a gun, but a girl from the ranks, equal, and he was also equalizing the ranks of human being. That means, from a kingdom. First, you may draw statistics. That means, you have to collect information of tiger populations in the different native states, the nearest neighbor. And next, you may investigate if there is a girl I can marry in the royal family of a state with a large tiger population. This is what he shared with. Right, sir? You understand that? The Divan also started. The Divan followed his orders. He found the right girl from a state which possessed a large number of tigers. Then what he has done, everything we will also discuss tomorrow.